Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Nate's DIY Gardening. Today, we'll be talking about why I decided to do gardening. Before we get started, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button so that my video can be searched a lot quicker and a lot easier with YouTube search algorithm. So let's get started. So the first reason I wanted to do a garden was fresh food, right? So we know as you go in your stores, you go to Walmart, some other stores like that, a lot of times their food are not fresh, it's not organic. There's sometimes pesticide on the food. So for me, I wanted to have fresh food from my gardening. And one of the things I learned when I started getting my food from the gardening was the taste. The taste was a lot better for my food from my garden than what I was getting from the store. So for an example was, I used to not to like peaches, right? I didn't ever like peaches. They're always soft and mushy, and I never liked them. But where we was before we moved here, we had a peach tree in our garden. When the peaches were ready, I pulled the peaches off the tree and I ate the peach straight from the tree. And I really liked the peach from the tree. So that that kind of gave me an idea that the food that you get out of your garden is a lot better, tastes a lot better, a lot healthier, a lot more nutritious than what you have in the stores. And also what you notice is that the food that you get from your garden will store a lot better in your refrigerator and in your freezer and actually just out in your kitchen. So that's the first reason why I started doing a garden, was because of the freshness of the food and having the food that doesn't have pesticide and is non-GMO. So let's go on to the second reason why I wanted to do a garden. So the second reason why I wanted to do a garden was preparation. As we experienced in the last year with the pandemic, some of the things that happened in Texas this past winter and what's going on out in the West Coast right now with the heat wave and stuff like that, you notice supply chain disruption in your stores, right? So your stores are now not being stocked like they used to be pre-pandemic. So another reason for me to do a garden was to make sure I wasn't dependent on a store for my food. So in my garden, I grow various things that supplement what I buy from the grocery store. So when times happen or times get difficult and people get a little crazy about buying up stuff and hoarding stuff from the store, I don't have to worry about that as much because I have a garden that I can go to that I can get fresh food every day. And also the food that I harvest, I can then seal it, put it in my freezer and use it for later in the season or during the winter when things might get difficult. So Texas should have been a real eye-opener as far as what was going on, especially with COVID going on. We saw for some reason toilet paper was the thing to get, and you couldn't get toilet paper for a long time. So another reason to do a garden is so that you can have food readily available to you. So if things get kind of crazy or pandemics and other things happen, you then have stuff you can go out to your back garden and grab and eat versus trying to fight people at a grocery store for it. So that's the second reason why I want to do a garden, is for preparation. Next, let's go to our third and final thing why I do a garden. All right, the third and final reason why I decided to do a garden, probably the most kind of beneficial thing, is exercise. So one of the benefits of doing a garden is you get a lot of exercise when you garden. You may not think so right away, but when you think about all the squatting and bending over you have to do, you have to make sure that your lower body is in excellent shape to do that. So by doing a garden, you're making sure that you're getting a lot of exercise in, especially with your lower body. Also, another benefit of garden is being outside in the fresh air and having sunlight. As you know, vitamin D is one of the critical things you need for your body, and when you're outside in the garden and in the sunlight, you're getting that vitamin D into your system versus having to take it maybe a supplement or something like that. Also, with gardening, again, when I'm saying fresh air, you're out in the fresh air. You're not cooped up inside. You're not inside all day. And unfortunately, with the pandemic, we was caused to work from home and being inside all day. So what we need now is to get back out into some fresh air, make sure our lungs get some fresh air. So exercise, fresh air is one of the benefits of gardening. Also, your mental health. One of the things that makes me relax if I have a really stressful day, if I come out to the garden for like 45 minutes or an hour, it really does release stress from me and allows me to be more clear-headed when I go back inside. So again, when you do my gardening, you're talking about exercise, you're talking about fresh air, and you're talking about mental health, right? Stress, or if you're depressed, get outside. Again, be in the fresh air. Sunlight also helps with depression a little bit, also with the vitamin D. So doing a garden is a very beneficial thing. It's very holistic, and it's one of the things that we as a people need to start embracing more. That way we can be a better people holistically. So these are the reasons why I like to do a gardening. Again, preparation, fresh food, non-GMO, right? So we say GMO, we're talking about genetically modified food. So if you buy something that doesn't have a seed, that's a GMO food. So for instance, we have these seedless watermelons. That is not a good thing. What happens is if you have a seedless watermelon, when you're done with the watermelon, that means you got to go back to whoever sold you those seeds and buy those seeds again next season. Whereas if you have a seeded watermelon, you can take those seeds from the watermelon, dry them out, save them, and you can replant those for next year. So that's one of the reasons why you don't want GMO foods, because you can't replant anything from a GMO food. You always want non-GMO or heirloom type seeds. So that's one of the benefits of doing a garden, because then you can take the seeds and replant them yourself. So again, preparation, fresh food, non-GMO, and then exercise and mental health. All these things are what is needed for us as human beings to be more productive and more relaxed and more energized. So these are the things why I do gardening, why I love to do gardening. And I hope this was a beneficial video for y'all and help y'all to get into gardening, to do something, to be outside, be in nature, be in fresh air, because it really is beneficial for you. So that is it for this episode. I hope that you like it. Again, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Again, we're trying to get my subscribership up, trying to get my videos more out there on YouTube, make them more searchable. So again, subscribe, those thumbs up. Until next time, see you.